It is now time for the Hunter Spring graduating class of 2021 valedictorian address. The Hunter valedictorian is a student with a perfect 4.0 GPA with all credits taken at Hunter. However, there's one small, wonderful problem. We have not one, not two, not even 10. We have 14 such students this year. Not even Hunter's renowned accounting department could find a way to break a 14-way 4.0 grade point average tie. So we will hear some inspirational words from just one of our valedictorians, reflecting on how today is the culmination of a dream and the beginning of a new chapter. But this entire cohort of valedictorians is especially strong. On top of all the usual challenges, they spent the last year and a half learning remotely. They dealt with losing jobs and losing family incomes, losing internships, and in some cases, losing relatives. Of our 14 valedictorians, 9 are the children of immigrants. One is an immigrant herself, and many are the first in their families to graduate from college. They represent the fact that the American dream is alive and well and coming true at Hunter College as it has in the 150 years since our founding. Even as our students set off on their incredibly diverse paths, they go with their Hunter motto in their hearts, Mihi Cura Futuri, the care of the future is mine. These Hunter valedictorians will go on to care for our communities, our city, and our country in so many crucial ways. Our hearts particularly go out to valedictorian Sumaitha Hassan, who tragically lost her father to COVID in April. He and Sumaitha's mother immigrated to New York from Bangladesh. Sumaitha came to Hunter as a Macaulay Honors student and majored in English. She plans to direct movies and make music. As she graduates today, Sumaitha says she knows her dad is proud of her, and her heart goes out to everyone who lost family members to COVID. She will care for the future and her father's memory by creating works of beauty. The pandemic has made us more grateful than ever for the Hunter students dedicated to saving lives. Students like Sonia Haifez, the child of Pakistani immigrants, Sonia is a Macaulay Scholar and a bio major who will begin medical school studies at Rutgers University this fall. Catherine Stratus will be starting med school then too. Catherine double majored in biology and women and gender studies. She has known since sophomore year that she will fulfill her dream of becoming a doctor because that's when she was accepted to Mount Sinai's Medical School's prestigious early acceptance program. Her fellow bio major in Macaulay as well, Daniela Schill, taught health ed to students in under-resourced high schools when she wasn't busy with lab work at Memorial Sloan Kettering. Daniela will continue this work while she too applies to medical school this coming year. Given the pandemic, we've become even more grateful for the great minds at Hunter doing scientific research. Computer science major and Macaulay Scholar Karina Ionkina, whose parents immigrated from Russia, has spent the past year genetically analyzing viruses, looking for mutations, a very pressing issue. But she also found time to tutor everyone from elementary school kids to Hunter College kids in computer programming. Karina will care for the future by becoming a software engineer at Bloomberg and blazing a trail for women in science and technology. Some of you will take the path to government and politics, like Caitlin Balagula, whose parents immigrated from the Ukraine. Caitlin is a Macaulay Scholar who has already been published twice in the Wall Street Journal and is about to become a congressional intern. With this first-hand experience in lawmaking, Caitlin will care for the future by contributing to our country's food policy. Some of you will follow in the footsteps of our founder, Thomas Hunter, by becoming teachers and school leaders, like Astrid Stolz, who came to this country in the last 10 years. Astrid's mother died when she was in first grade. A fantastic after-school program was the place she felt most loved and cared for. Ever since, Astrid wanted to help children herself by becoming a teacher in Germany, where she grew up. But then she moved to New York to work as a nanny and fell in love with our city. Now she's putting all her passions together and will care for the children of her adopted home as a New York City public school teacher. We hold all of our graduates entering the helping professions in great esteem. Graduates like Amanda D'Souza. Amanda's parents immigrated here from India. To make sure the children would have a parent home at all times, they worked opposite shifts, mom in a movie theater, dad in a hotel. Sophomore year, when Amanda's beloved aunt became gravely ill with cancer, Amanda spent many nights in the hospital with her. When her aunt passed away, Amanda determined that someday she would help other families going through the same kind of pain. She graduates today with her bachelor's in social work and will go on to get her master's. Alexa Weissman is also getting her bachelor's of social work today. She too will care for the future by helping New Yorkers in need, as will Adina Noble, a Macaulay Scholar in Hebrew who tends to practice holistic therapy. Her fellow Macaulay Scholar, Fortune Manopla, a psych major, plans to become a therapist working with immigrants and underserved populations. These graduates are caring for the future by providing New Yorkers with the mental health services they need. Others of you will care for the future by studying the past. Megan Lorino spent her happiest hours as a child with her grandparents, which may explain her love of history. She graduates with an art history and psychology double major and plans to become an art historian and return to Hunter for further studies. We love the history in Harriet Enright's past. Her mother is a Hunter grad. Now mom works at Netflix, so Harriet grew up surrounded by movies and making them. Today, Harriet is graduating with a double major in psychology and film. She will shape the stories we see as she goes on to become a film editor. Finally, some of you will go on to think and work globally, forging ties between countries and immigrant cultures. Vicky Lee, whose parents immigrated from Asia, is an English major who studied the Asian American experience during the pandemic, a serious topic. But she also studied the impact of Asian comics. She will be teaching a Japanese class right here at Hunter this fall. We're so glad to have you back, Vicky, while she starts work on her PhD in linguistics. Whether Vicky goes on to become a professor or a diplomat, she will care for the future by making sure we can all understand each other. We congratulate each of our 14 Hunter valedictorians, the largest cohort ever and the only group to graduate with almost half their Hunter years spent in a time of COVID. We are so proud of your accomplishments, your resilience, and your commitment to living the Hunter motto and caring for the future. Congratulations to our 2021 Hunter College valedictorians. Now, I am pleased to introduce Adina Noble, who will deliver the Hunter Spring graduating class of 2021 valedictorian address. Take it away, Adina.
President Rabb, Vice President Ayar Vanian, Director Smith, distinguished guests, administrators, families, friends, and finally, to the graduating class of 2021. It is indeed a great pleasure and an honor to deliver the valedictorian address. My heartfelt congratulations go out to all my fellow graduates on reaching this pivotal milestone in our scholastic journeys. As the 4,400 graduating scholars of Hunter College, we have continued the long tradition of engaging in rigorous academia to further refine our skills as leaders and as innovators. We are a cohort of resilient, hardworking, intelligent, and influential leaders. We are so committed to serving as advocates and active agents of social reform. At this moment in our lives, we are here to celebrate our great accomplishments, our estimable achievements, and celebrate those who have supported us on our way, while even honoring our great challenges that we faced. As someone with dyslexia and other learning disabilities, I previously saw education to be a great burden, simply another source of stress and fear in my life. I struggled to write notes while listening to a professor lecture. I struggled to read textbooks and finish chapters only to realize I had absolutely no idea if I was reading about biology or history. I would caffeinate at 1:30 in the morning to study through the night and catch up with my courses, only to head out at 5:30 in the morning to tennis practice and begin the cycle anew. And yet I found healing at Hunter. I found warmth, embrace, and a deep understanding. The Office of Accessibilities was able to not only support me and accommodate my challenges, but they taught me that it was possible to love learning. I was as capable of contributing to a community of academic scholarship. Resilience and grit are certainly tenets of our graduating class and phenomenal graduation gifts. This year was not simple. While we have successfully achieved scholarship in our 21 broad fields of study, spanning over 53 distinct majors, we simply hadn't anticipated majoring in survival within a global pandemic, ensuring our emotional, social, and communal well-being. Not one had foreseen becoming family members in mourning, becoming full-time stay-at-home parents and full-time students, or living in crippling fear of the widespread virus. With the world as we knew it undergoing drastic changes, we were not only held by the warm and growth-oriented community of Hunter College, but we maintained our dedication to engaging in intellectual discourse. We may have passed English 101, maybe got by an Orgo and aced Psych, but our learning has spanned far beyond the bounds of a textbook or a classroom. We learned resilience. We learned the power of self-care and safeguarding our wellness. We learned how to adapt and how to appreciate great miracles like modern healthcare while simultaneously holding gratitude for little things like high fives, the subway, and even sharing a smile with a stranger. During a pandemic that has taken the lives of over 3 million, we here have been gifted vitality. It is therefore our duty to forge the path for future generations through means that leaders before us were not presented with. We have honed our emotional intelligence while also challenging ourselves to uphold a high degree of academic excellence. We commence a new chapter in our lives. So congratulations, my fellow graduates. May we fulfill our limitless dreams, continue to stand in the face of adversity, and truly actualize mihi cura futuri, our deep commitment to engage in civil service and grow as ambassadors of healing.
Now, to represent all the graduates and to present the class gift is Hardik Bhaskar, Hunter's undergraduate student government president. Hardik came to America at the age of 7 from India. Hardik's parents made sure to instill the importance of service, having both worked for the United Nations. During his time at Hunter, Hardik has been a student leader dedicated to advocating for and supporting all Hunter students. Whether it was during his 4 years as a member of Hunter's fantastic track team or the guidance and leadership he displayed during this year of distance learning, there is no one better suited to address our graduates on the importance of giving back to future Hunter students. Hardik graduates today with a 3.5 GPA and a major in biochemistry and plans to care for the future as a pediatrician. Hardik, thank you for your service as our student class president and for all you have done for the college. We welcome you, Hardik, to address the graduating class of 2021.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hardik Bhaskar, and I'm a member of Hunter College's graduating class of 2021. For many of us, the road to commencement has been a long journey, but our hard work has finally paid off. We made it! Today, our academic success serves as a launchpad for our future. Thanks to our time at Hunter, the doors that may have once been closed are now open. As we pursue new opportunities and start making history of our own, it's a wonderful time to pay it forward to the next generation of Hunter students. But what does that mean? Pay it forward? Every year, the graduating class spearheads a special initiative called the Senior Legacy Gift Campaign, collectively raising funds for the college. Not only do funds raise support student scholarship and academic excellence and student life, but this year's campaign will raise funds and continue to contribute to the college's emergency relief fund for students. In the past year, the funds have supplied students in need with over $3 million and will continue to assist students as our city recovers from financial effects of the pandemic. As the president of undergraduate student government this year, I have seen firsthand how the generosity of alumni, parents, and friends and students has a positive impact on Hunter College's community. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to take out their cell phones. If they aren't already in your hands or in your laps, I'd like you to text Hunter, Hunter, to 56512 right now to receive the link to give to the Class of 2021 Senior Legacy Campaign. In case you didn't know, the number of individual donors is a determining factor for our college's ranking. So literally every gift counts, increasing the value of our degree. Last year's graduating class raised just over $6,000. I think we can do better. But whether you give $21.21 in honor of our grad year, $10 or $5, no donation is too small. Again, participation matters the most. Parents, friends, feel free to join in and make a donation to the campaign as well. Thank you all so much for supporting Hunter College today and beyond. To my fellow classmates, now that we're alums, we can look forward to receiving invitations to get involved and to attend future events hosted by the Office of Alumni Relations. Again, congratulations, Class of 2021. I wish everyone best of luck. Let's go make history.